Blog 1 continued. What ideas do you have for your role and the overall performance? I've been looking at strong women in history, so obviously Barbara Castle herself and Margaret Thatcher. And the idea that I have for Barbara is that she doesn't let anyone in. She has a soft side, but she doesn't let anyone see that soft side, except for in Ideal World when she's with the girls. I also have the idea that she's against men. Perhaps she's against men because of something that's happened in her past, but the idea that she will never ever let anyone walk all over her. She will never go towards anyone else. She will always be a strong, independent woman, and she will roll her eyes a lot. The idea that she has a big sort of attitude. What techniques have you used in this session? What effect did you use them for? So in this session we've been looking at the Stanislavski techniques, because obviously I want Barbara to be a true representation of Barbara Castle, and so I needs to be natural, it needs to be real, and it needs to represent Barbara. It needs to look very similar. I don't want it to look false or fake. I want it to be a true representation of Barbara Castle. We've also done a lot of dance and singing. What feedback did you receive from your director and peers? So as I mentioned earlier, my directors told me that I need to make sure I stand my ground more with Barbara. Don't let her wander. Let people come to me, especially Harold. If he wants to talk to me, he will come to me. I can't go to him. What did you think of the feedback? I definitely agree with the feedback. I don't think Barbara should be wandering around and going to Harold when she wants to speak. I think he should be going to her. Again, shows she's a strong woman, shows she doesn't let people push her around, shows that she will not go towards anyone else, especially if it's a man. So I definitely agree with the feedback. What are you going to do in the next rehearsal to improve on the feedback? I'm going to make sure that I do stand my ground. I'm also going to ask my friend Amy to tell me if I start to wander, so that I'm aware of it and so that I can stop wandering around so much. Discuss strengths and areas for development and set an action plan on how you're going to meet those areas for development and improve them. Areas for improvement, time management. I need to make sure that I arrive to every lesson on time. I'm going to do this by setting alarms to get there on time. Earlier alarms. Preparation for each session. I have a tendency to not look at what scenes we're blocking the rehearsal schedule, which I should do, so that if I'm not being used, I can plan my time effectively and plan what I'm going to do. And line learning, I feel like I need to come off script now. It's the first session, so it's only a few weeks in, but I want to come off script so I can completely focus on Barbara and focus on the characterisation. So strengths, projection. I'm really good at projecting. We don't use mics for the dialogue in the show, and I do feel that I've got my projection really well. Work. I'm always willing to work. Stepping in for other people. Claire wasn't, well, the person who plays Claire, so Becky Burton, was at a university audition the other day, and I just picked up the script and stepped in for Becky. So I'm always willing to step in and to do that. And the accent, I do feel that I need to work on my accent. I don't need to work on it. I don't feel I need to work on my accent because I think I've nailed the accent now. And everybody says that I do the accent really well, so I'm really happy with that. Okay, what you want to improve, how you're going to improve it. These can be physically, vocals, characterization, learn lining, confidence, etc. Keep them smart. So as I've just discussed, I need to work on my time management. I need to work on learning my lines. And I don't need to work on my accent. I don't need to work on my projection. And so really, the main thing I want to work on is my time management, definitely. So that's going to be an area that I focus on more on the upcoming sessions and the upcoming weeks of rehearsals.